everyone, it's Olivia here from Olivia's Online Tuition, and today is day 3 of my 25 Days to a Better Maths Grade series, and today we're going to cover Grade 5 and Grade 7 Factorising quadratics. We'll go through a couple of questions first, then we'll go through some AQA and Edexcel exam questions. Let's get to it. Question 1. Factorise a squared plus 15a plus 36. So this is your classic quadratic equation. You've got a letter squared plus a number and the same letter plus another number. So that is a quadratic, and with those you always factorise. Well, most of the time. So to do that, you multiply to get the last number, which is 36, and you add to get the middle number, 15. And then from there, find your factors of whatever number you're multiplying to get, which is this 36 here. So your factors of 36, going to be 1 and 36, 2 times 18, 3 times 12, and 4 and 9. That'll be all your factors, and then the one that's going to work to get us to these pair of numbers is going to be that one there, right? Because 3 times 12, that's 36, and then 3 plus 12, that's 15. So we've got our factors with the correct signs. All we need to do then is put it into double brackets like this. So then we're going to get a plus 3 and a plus 12, and that would be a factorised grade 5 quadratic. Question 2, factorise x squared plus 10x plus 25. So same thing here, times to get the last number, which is 25, and add to get the middle number, which in this case is 10, and then list your factor pairs of 25, so that's 1 and 25, and then just 5 and 5. And there we are, and then we're going to be using this one, right? Because 5 plus 5, that then gets us 10. And then put them into your brackets, x plus 5 and x plus 5. And there we have it. Question 3 then, so factorise n squared minus 3n minus 18. Bit more awkward this time because we've got negatives everywhere, but we'll deal with those in a second. So, same method, times to make this case minus 18, then a sign in front sticks with it, then add to make minus 3. Again, sign stays with the number. Then factors of minus 18, or factors of just 18, deal with the negative later. 1 and 18, 2 and 9, that's 3 and 6, and then that's it, grand. Okie dokie, and then from here, which one can get us minus 3? That's going to be this pair here, and to do that, I'm going to need to do plus 3, take away 6, because 3 take away 6, that's then going to be minus 3. So then put them into your brackets, n plus 3 and n minus 6. Bit of a top tip for you. If the number you're timing to get is a negative, then your answers have to be 1 positive, 1 negative always. It may not be in this order, but 1 positive, 1 negative. If your timings make a positive, that's still my highlighter, if your timings to get a positive, then your two options are 2 positives and 2 negatives. That can help you decide if you're struggling with the signs, which one it's going to be. If your times make a negative, they've got to be 2 different signs. Times make a positive, there's going to be 2 of the same sign, either both positive or both negative. And there we are. Next question then, solve x squared minus 7x plus 10 equals 0. A little bit different here because this word is now solve and this is now equal to 0. The method for the most part doesn't change very much, just a little bit added on at the end. If you see that word solve and then this equals 0 here. So but first, before that, method is exactly the same. So times to make the last number, which is still 10, and add to make the middle, which is minus 7. Factors of 10, that's 1 and 10, 2 and 5. It's going to be that one. And to get minus 7, we times get a positive, either going to be 2 positives or 2 negatives. To get minus 7, we can't have 2 positives, so that would make us plus 7. So getting minus 7 will be minus and a minus. They're going to cancel out when you times them to get positive 10, these negatives. And then minus 2, take away another 5, that is minus 7. Then put them into the brackets, x minus 2 and x minus 5 equals 0. Then from here is where the method gets a little bit different, a little bit of an extra step from here. So what happens is, because these two brackets, they're written right next to each other, right? Which in algebra always means times. Like this one here, -7, that means times x. It's right next to each other, right? Same thing here. So we're timesing two things together to get 0. So what must one of them be? 0. You can't get 0 any other way by timesing two numbers. One's got to be 0. We don't know which one's going to be 0, so we assume both of them are 0. Why not? Right, it's going to be one of them, so make both of them. So then we get x minus 2, this bracket has to be 0, and then x minus 5, that bracket also has to be 0. Then all we need to do is solve this. So I get x on its own, we add 2 over there to get x equals 2. And then x minus 5, we add 5 over there to get x equals 5. And there we have it. Okay, next up then, solve y squared minus 10y plus 9 equals 0. So another one of those equals 0 ones, but we've seen the extra step now, so we can do that again. So first up, times to make 9 and add to make minus 10. Still the same. That's going to then be 1 and 9 or 3 and 3. But to make minus 10, we need this 1 and this 9. And then again, times to make a positive, so we either need both positive or both negative. Adding to make a negative, it's going to be both negative. Minus 1, minus 9. Then let's put those in. Y minus 1 and y minus 9 equals 0. And then make each of the brackets equal to 0 for that next and final step. So y minus 1 equals 0. Then y minus 9 equals 0. And then add that over there, y equals 1. Add that over there, y equals 9. And that is a solved quadratic. Next up, factorise 2x squared plus 5x plus 2. So this one you may notice a little bit different from the others. Anything that equals 0 that we've seen before, but that can come back in later. The other thing that's different about it is this 2 here. Right, it's got a number in front of the x squared, and that changes the method. So you've got a number in front of your x squared, it's now a grade 7 quadratic, so harder, right? So you may have been taught a different way than what I'm going to show you now. Different teachers have different methods, and normally just carry on teaching the one that they were taught in school originally, right? So you may have been taught a different method for this. This is the one that I like to do. So first things first is we kind of do a similar thing to begin with, but the times in this case, we're going to times to get the times. So for grade 7, we times to get the times, which is 2 times 2 to make 4. So first times last to get the times in this one. And then add to make the middle, which is 5. And then from here, factors of 4, which is 1 and 4 and 2 and 2. And then it's going to be 1 and 4. There it is. And then signs, we're going to have +1, +4 to make +5. Okay, and then from here what we're going to do is open up our brackets again, but this case what we're going to do is put 2x in each of them. So 2x plus 1 and 2x plus 4. Then we look and we think, can I simplify any of these brackets? Can I divide by a common factor in either of these two brackets? This one we can't because 2 and 1 are as simple as they can be. They're both prime, so we're going to leave that as 2x plus 1. But with this one, there's a 2 and there's a 4. So I can divide by 2 in both things in this bracket. So I'm going to just essentially half it to get x plus 2. And that is a factorised grade 7 quadratic. So again, you might have been taught something different. This is my chosen method. It's what I like to do. It's what I think is the quickest way. But again, if you like a different way, then feel free to just practice the questions using your own method. And if you want to try mine, feel free. Next up, factorise 3x squared minus 11x plus 6. So again, one of those ones with a number in front of the x squared. So a grade 7 quadratic. So first off, we're going to times to get the times. 3 times 6, that's 18, and then add to still get minus 11. And then factors of 18, 1 and 18, 2 and 9, 3 and 6. Okay, and then it's going to be this one, isn't it? These will get us to minus 11. So again, tiny bit of positive, so it's either 2 pluses or 2 minuses. 2 minuses in this case, we're getting a minus 11, so minus 2, minus 9. And then carry on, so we're putting 3x in each of these brackets with our factors. So 3x minus 2, close open, 3x minus 9. And then, can I divide anything out of this bracket? No, both 3 and 2 are both prime, so nothing can go into both of those, apart from 1. That's not going to change it, is it, if I add it all by 1? So 3x minus 2, as it stays. And then from here, we can divide both of these by 3, can't we? We're both multiples of 3. So divide it by 3, we get x minus 3. And that is that. Okay, then next up, solve 5x squared plus 11x minus 12 equals 0. So same next step from once you factorise your quadratic, just then essentially just the same thing, just with the grade 7 rather than the grade 5. So first things first, we're going to times to get the times. 5 by minus 12 times is to make minus 60, and then adding to make 11. Okay, then factors of minus 60 is going to be 1 and 60. Oop, that's not 60, is it? 1 and 60. 2 and, what is that, 30. 3 and 20. 4 and 15. 5 and, what is that, 12, oh yeah, obviously, and then we've got 6 and 10, and then 7 won't, 8 won't, 9 won't, so there we are, finished, there we are. So then which one of these is going to make 11? That is going to be this guy right here, isn't it, this 4 and 15. So time is making negative, so we're going to have one positive and one negative. So to make a positive 11, we're going to do plus 15 minus 4, because 15 minus 4, that's going to get us 11. Okay, and then let's put these into our brackets. So then we've got 5x minus 4, and then 5x plus 15, and then equals 0 this time. And then can we divide by anything in this bracket? No, so we're going to leave that one as it is. What about this one? 5, divide by 5, so then divide that by 5, you get x, divide this by 5, and you get 3, equals 0. And then from here, same thing as we did before, make each of the brackets equal to 0. So 5x minus 4 equals 0, x plus 3 equals 0. This one's a bit easier, it's like the same one we had kind of last time, isn't it? Just take away the 3 this time, we get x is minus 3. Then for this one, kind of a two-parter, right? So we add 4 over there to get 5x equals 4. Then we divide by 5 to get x equals 4/5. And that are your solutions. So those. Next up then, solve 4x squared minus 19x minus 5 equals 0. So again, same thing as last time. Times to make the times. 4 by minus 5 to get minus 20, and then add to make minus 19. Then factors of minus 20, that's going to be 1 and 20. 2 and 10, 3 won't, 4 and 5. And there we are. And then to make minus 19, that's going to be this guy here, isn't it? So then if we do minus 20, add an extra 1, go towards positive, that's going to be then minus 19. Then plus times a minus makes a minus. So happy days. Let's then put all our stuff in. So we got 4x plus 1 and 4x minus 20 equals 0. Then let's simplify both our brackets. So we've got then, one of them, not this one. He's fine, isn't he? And then divide this one. Let's divide by 2. And that's what goes into both of them. Divide it by 2. We then get, actually no, 4. What am I talking about? We can divide them both by 4, can't we? Divide it by 4. We then get x minus 5 equals 0. And there we are. Grand. And then from here, make each of the brackets equal to 0. 4x plus 1 equals 0. X minus 5 equals 0. And then add that one over there. X equals 5. And then take 1 over there. 4x is minus 1. Then divide by 4. X equals minus a quarter. Nearly went off the screen there, but there we are. And that is that question. Okay then, first exam questions from the AQA November 2018 paper 1. So feel free to pause it, have a go, see how you get on. It's one of those grade, actually I won't tell you which grade it is, so you can figure it out for yourself. But yeah, pause it, have a little go. Okay then, first question, question 12, solve x squared minus x minus 12 equals 0. So it's a grade 5 quadratic because there's nothing in front, so it's like that very first type we looked at, right? So in this case, we're going to do times to make minus 12 and add to make this sneaky number in here, which is minus 1. Okie dokie. So then factors of minus 12, that's then 1 and 12, 2 and 6, and then 3 and 4. Then to make minus 1, that's going to be this pair, isn't it? 3 and 4. And we're going to do plus 3, take away 4. Then that lands us on minus 1. Okay, and then let's put them in our brackets. So then we get x plus 3 and x minus 4. Then from here equals 0. And then each of the brackets equal to 0. X plus 3 equals 0. Put them on different lines this time, make it a bit easier. And then x minus 4, I should say. X minus 4 equals 0. And then take 3 over there, we get x equals minus 3. And then add 4 over there, we get x equals 4. So x is equal to minus 3 or 4. And there we have it, 3 marks. Okay, the next exam question, another AQA question, AQA November 2017, paper 2. So let you have a little go, see how you get on, pause it. See you in a second. Okay, 16b then. Factorise 3x squared minus 22x plus 7. Okie dokie then. So it's one of those grade 7 ones, isn't it? It means to times to get the times. So we times to make 3 times 7, which is 21. Then add to make minus 22. And then factors of 21. It's going to be 1 and 21. And that's going to be the one that's going to get us 22, isn't it? So that's going to be the factor pair. And then to get minus 22, it's going to be minus 1 minus another 21. And there we are. Then from there, you need to put them straight into brackets. So then we get 3x, and it's grade 7, so 3 goes with it first. 3x minus 1, and then 3x minus 21. And then this one's as simple as it can be, so that can go straight on our answer line for now. 3x minus 1. And then divide this by 3. We get x minus 7, and that would be a factorised quadratic. Remember, no make it equal to 0 because it's not equal to 0 up here, so therefore we don't need to make it equal to 0 down here. So if it just says factorise, your brackets, which you've got them, are done and dusted. And there we are, that is question 16b. Okay, last exam question then, another AQA question. I'll talk about why that is in a second. But AQA November 2017, paper 1. Multiple choice questions, so pause it, have a go, see how you get on. Okay, then question 18, circle the 2 roots of 2x plus 3, lots of 5x minus 2 equals 0. Okay, then, so roots is essentially a fancy word meaning solution. So you use a lot of fancy words in maths, don't they? They never get to the point, do they? So roots essentially just means solutions. So what we're going to do from here is they've already factorised it for us. How nice of them. All we're going to do is make each of those brackets equal to 0, what we'd normally do if we saw it was equal to 0 in the question. So we're going to then get 2x plus 3 equals 0 and 5x minus 2 equals 0. Then take 3 over there, we then get 2x equals minus 3. Then divide by 2, x is equal to minus 3, easy, over 2. And then add 2 over there. 5x is equal to 2, and then divide 5 down there, x is equal to 2/5. So where are these? So we have minus 3 over 2, that's that one, and 2/5, that's that one. There we are, that would be 2 marks. So no Edexcel questions today, just because Edexcel don't have quadratic just on their own, not on the higher paper anyway. On the foundation paper they do, but not on the higher paper. If you see a quadratic on an Excel paper, it's because it's going to be like embedded into another question. So quadratics can kind of creep up out of nowhere all the time in every paper, right? Quadratics can come up anywhere. I mean, like probability is quadratics, shape, regular algebra, algebraic fractions, things like ratio, all of those can lead inevitably to a quadratic. So always keep an eye out. If you see a letter squared plus and some number with the letter plus another number, think, okay, quadratic. So you solve that, I need to get it equal to 0, and then continue on from there with these methods that I've showed you today. So that brings us to the end of day 3, factorising quadratics. Remember, these can come up all the time, everywhere. It doesn't have to be an algebra question, it could be a shape question, then bam, suddenly you got a quadratic on your hands, right? So make sure you learn those methods, you got them completely nailed down before your exams are going to come up all the time. So if you have enjoyed, feel free to like, subscribe, do all that other YouTubey stuff. If you have any questions remaining, then feel free to leave a comment. I'll be sure to get back to you. Yeah, there we are. And then tomorrow we're going to be doing the topic of fractions. How fun. So hopefully I'll see you then. Bye!